Hi, I'm Mike Hogue of Transformative Adventures, and I'd like to ask you for just a few moments of your time. Today in the Transformative Adventures group, I shared another post about a recent study that proved once again how powerful polycultures are. Polycultures, the study found, actually increase soil organic matter content and increase soil life and soil biology. And they do so better than all of what study authors have called brute force methods, like importing a lot of carbon or compost or sprays intended to increase the biology. Instead, just this one thing of including multiple plants together in the same soil in the same garden had a bigger impact than all those other things. Now, the miraculous thing about that is, as Masanobu Fukuoka used to ask, instead of looking for things to do in the garden, like another import or another spray, we should always look at things to not do in the garden. And this one thing of allowing ecosystems to just persist and to plant into those in the form of polycultures, instead of trying to create the clean slate of monocultures, something that we can all do to have better gardens. And all of our transformative adventures, holistic natural gardening techniques have the same kind of impact. These are things like mulch, like avoiding tilling, avoiding spraying in the garden, and of course polycultures, making sure that we're designing gardens to collect water. All of these have huge impacts in the garden and don't require us to continue to do anything. And best of all, they're free. They don't require us to buy any high-tech fancy products or any sort of extra stuff. It's just what's growing in the garden, which is great. So this is the kind of information that we like to focus on in our group and the kinds of discussions we like to have, because the mission of Transformative Adventures is to help transform our lives, landscape, and society. But not to do it from kind of a top-down hierarchical way, but to really create systems that are people-powered and based in local community. Things that create connection to community and nature. To do that, we need to create a DIY Green New Deal. Not a Green New Deal that waits on government experts and so-called thought leaders to save us, but what you and I can do together in our communities, empowering community leaders to do that action. To do that, we're providing materials and incomes and livelihoods and everything that we need to really help people get involved on their local level as serious activists. And to do that, we're developing in a cooperative model. So over the last month, I have been asking you for your support. In fact, this has kind of been like our month of pledge drive, as you might see it on public radio, only because I follow permaculture strategies for development and fundraising. I never ask you for a donation or to volunteer. Our philosophy instead is to offer people real, valuable opportunities to support us, instead of just asking for donations and volunteers. So I would like to one last time invite you to take us up on some of the exciting opportunities we're offering in this month. The first of them is, of course, our upcoming course, which is a combined permaculture design certification course and our landscape transformation program. Two programs that are combined a lot of materials that are take and teach materials. If you take the programs, you can turn around and teach them in your local community, because our philosophy is each one, teach one. And we're trying to create an army of local DIY change makers. The second opportunity that we could talk about is, of course, this beautiful book, Beauty in Abundance, which came out and it's been selling great. In fact, the first 2 runs of the book have already sold out, and now it's continuing to come back. And this book is filled with concrete plans, like for designing polycultures like the ones we were talking about earlier. This book is available through our store on Aereo. You can find it by going to transformativeadventures.org and looking in the store and going and finding this book. That would be a great way that we can support each other. I'm positive that the material in this book will help support you in your gardening goals, and at the same time, you'll be supporting us as we work on our common goals. And finally, we have an offer for those who don't want to sign up for the full course, who would like to get involved and get a taste of what it's like to be in one of these courses and get a taste for the Permaculture Design Certificate course. We're opening up the first few classes for people who'd like to sign up for those and join in and get an idea of the methods in design and a basic introduction to Transformative Adventures content as well. So you can look at that and find that offering on the store. And I'd like to take just a second to talk about some of the PDC and course options as well. We've tried to make it as accessible as possible to get as many people involved as we possibly can from this group. So there are 5 different ways you can be involved. The first is if you want to take your career as a community change maker to the next level, you can sign up for our full program, which includes the complete professionals package and permaculture design certification. That will give you more materials than any other program of this kind on the market. It will give you entire packages of marketing materials, pre-put together documents that you can go out and do consultations for people and give people little booklets on their own properties that are custom to what they're doing, filled with amazing plant lists, amazing patterns for abundance, and amazing materials for them. And of course, it includes all of our course content, so you can go out and start doing courses and lectures in your own community and start organizing. So we also have a package that just includes the PDC for people who just want that permaculture design certificate. And we have a garden designers program for people who really don't want to do this on a professional level themselves. They just want to spend the next few months designing their best garden ever. You can join the class, audit the class, and you even get a lot of the plant list with that too. So that's a great option if you just want to be involved in our community. I would love to have you involved. And for those who've already taken a permaculture design certificate course and don't really need another PDC, but who would like to get all of the professionals package, we have a special designers package for you. So you can get all of our goodies that you can use to take your career to the next level. And finally, if you don't want to be involved in any of that, please just hang out in our group. Make sure that you are checking it out every day. Over the next 3 or 4 months as we go through this course, being in the group will be like an immersion, a deep immersion into permaculture. We'll be going through the whole curriculum and you'll see it as it evolves in the course. So one more time, I just want to thank you for being involved in the Facebook group, in all of our programs, and I hope that you will feel like it's a place that you belong and like it's a place that you can interact. If you want to do something else to help me out, just participating in the group would be wonderful. All right. So thank you one last time for being a member of the group and for all of your support, and I hope that you'll join us in one of our programs. All right. Thanks again. Have a good night.